Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel or my Facebook page. I just wanted to make another update. I don't have too much to say that's different from yesterday. I just kind of wanted to go over again why I think things are a little unusual. Just kind of like a replay from what was yesterday. What I said about everything that's going on yesterday. Like I said yesterday, Alaska has been receiving a few bigger earthquakes. I think there's a 4.9 here, a 4.5. They might still be showing, some of them might have disappeared already since they are a little old. So these are 3.8s, 3.7. There's a 4.9. And that was yesterday at 11:26 p.m. So that's actually fairly new, and that does not include the earlier ones from yesterday, which were 4.9. So a lot of stronger activity coming into the Alaskan area, and using the Dutch Sins method, you would calculate where the seismic energy and activity might travel from there. So this is not usual. This is not normal activity coming into this area. You will see this area have activity maybe once a month, like a 4.9 once a month, but not several above 4.3s. We've seen several in this area. Up here in the Alaskan area, there were a few larger ones. Let's see if they're still showing. See a 4.6 there. And this is unusual to see a 4.0 in this area. A 3.5, which is this one, would be unusual but normal to see one 3.5. But to see all these 4.3 and above little earthquakes, that's not entirely normal. Let's just see what's going on over here, because we do know that using the Dutch Sins method, the energy will travel along these white lines, which are plate boundaries, over into Alaska and down from there. So let's just take a look what's going on over here. A 4.0, a 4.5, and I did, this is also unusual to have activity this high in this area. We've seen about 4 days ago, I think a 4.6. I even want to say there's a 4.9 here the other day, and that was forecasted. I did predict this. And that's not entirely normal to see that activity going on there. I still have Japan on my watch because this area has seen several larger earthquakes within the last week. There's a 5.4. We had, I think, a 6 point something the other day that was really deep as well. And we didn't see that energy transfer like myself and a few other forecasters were looking for. So that's still suspicious. Of course, I'm still keeping this general area of Papua New Guinea, Indonesia, Malaysia, and the Philippine area, as well as the East China or South China Sea and eastern part of China on the list as well. I mean, to see a bigger one pop in this area, like I've said before, is not unusual for this time, this Earth sequence that's happening. It's been very active lately there. Japan, I do have on my list for a potentially big one. Maybe like a 7.0 or higher. It may not be anything. It's not on the top of my list of concerns right now. My top of my list of my concerns, and let's just go back to this area, is definitely probably California and Utah. Using the Dutch Sins method, you would assume that the energy from Alaska is pulling downwards along the west coast down into this area along the North American craton, and the pattern of seismic activity that has happened in history as well. There's a pattern that you can see in history, so you would kind of follow those areas. One is to assume it's just going to go down, over, and out. Another, if you want to get more specific about it, you might say that it's coming over, down, around, and up, and over, and down into Idaho. Okay, so what's really suspicious to me, California has not seen any activity in about 3 days. I mean, we have one little one here. That's from yesterday at 5:07 p.m. That would be my time. I'm in Utah, so Mountain Standard Time. And that's not a little, that's a 2.5. That's not going to release any energy. Barely at all. We see another one here, a 3.3. Okay, that's a decent one. Here is the aftershock activity for the Nevada 6.5 that they had, I think, 2 days ago. And here's the aftershock activity for that. But ever since then, and a little before then, I think we're going on 5 days now that this part of California has not seen any activity whatsoever. In comparison, you will see this area have several earthquakes a day. We're talking about like maybe one here, one here, one here, one here, one here, and then along the other side. Let's see, around, maybe up top one, and then we're going to go down this mountain range, one right here, here, here. We're talking about maybe 12. Oh, I kind of got out too far. I'm not talking about this area. I thought we were in California still. So here, 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 here. We're talking about like not 12, more than 12. Like I would assume 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, maybe 12. At least 12 to 25 earthquakes per day along California, along the San Andreas, and then along this part of the, what is the name, plateau? No, it's not a plateau. What is it called? I failed geography, I think. Got it probably a D, so don't ask me, but along this area, this little mountain range. So we've gone from 12 to 25 earthquakes per day in California down to like 1 or 2. And it's been like that for 5 days. That is extremely unnormal. Now, not only is that going on, but we just had a large Nevada earthquake, a 6.5. Not only is that strange, go back a month, we had an Idaho, about a month and a half, we had an Idaho 6.5. Go back another month and a half before Idaho, or a month before Idaho, and we had a 5.6 in West Valley City, followed by 2 unusual aftershocks that happened after the aftershock activity died down in Utah and was pretty much going away, and then randomly they had a 4.2, and then a day and a half after that they had another 4.2. That was kind of unusual. So we have a few unusual things happening. The reason Idaho is on, Utah is on my list, and not just Idaho, is because Utah had an earthquake in this area, which is the West Valley Fault area. And if you go over here, this is the Wasatch Fault area. And the West Valley Fault and the Wasatch Fault area are connected. And this area has been forecasted by seismologists for a long time to be overdue for a 7.0 or higher earthquake. So that's why they're on my list, because with everything that's going on, as funny as everything is, I would not discontinue, what am I saying? Something that Utah could possibly receive an earthquake. What is that word? Disregard? I would not disregard that Salt Lake City, or at least along the Wasatch Fault, it could go into Provo, which is down. All of this is the Wasatch Fault area, all along these mountains. You see these green mountain peak signs, Twin Peaks and Mount Timpanogos, and all these mountain signs, oh my goodness, I'm sorry. Let me just get back. My phone does that sometimes. It drives me absolutely nuts. So all along the mountains here is the Wasatch Fault. So it could take place in Salt Lake City. It could be more north of Salt Lake City, into the Roy, Ogden, Layton area, Farmington, Centerville, North Salt Lake. It could go down as far as into Provo, Payson, and I think it kind of ends about Nephi. So that's why Utah is also on the list. But California is definitely acting a little suspicious. So not only do we have all these other things, weird things happening, Nevada, and then Utah, then Idaho, or Utah, and then Idaho, and now Nevada, and all the silent activity that's been kind of, before this silent activity that's happening, and this actually started before the Nevada earthquake. We had our tremors. Usually we see tremors every day, and it was absolutely silent as well for a couple weeks. So not only do we have all this going on, but we have unusually high energy pulling in from Alaska into this area. Not only that, we saw a bigger 5.6 earthquake here about maybe 36 hours ago. So that is more energy coming down, and I'm sure that also energy is coming up. So that's basically why I'm suspicious. We have a lot of things going on, a lot of new energy coming in. We have a lot of funny things happening in Utah, Idaho, Nevada, and then this dead silence is never a good thing. Usually when you see dead silence, when it wakes up again, it'll produce like 3.5 activity up to like 4.5 activity, and that's only if it's been silent for maybe 12 hours, and this is going on about 4 to 5 days now, which is pretty suspicious. I'm not sure. Oh, another thing that is weird is this Nevada activity should be, and the Canada earthquake too, should be coming down and over and across. And the only one we have is Oklahoma. And Oklahoma sees activity nearly every day. It's not unusual. So energy is not going anywhere like it should. It's not moving where it should be. And we saw that the other day. We saw that the other day with, I think there was not only a mini here that's not, it seems to not be going anywhere either. We saw a big one, I think a few big ones in this area, and it did not go anywhere either. It's just not, energy is not transferring like it normally does. I've learned to read patterns and to see where activity is going using not only my, there's a car alarm going on outside, not only using my intuition and pattern reading skills and using my technique, but also using the technique of other earthquake forecasters like Dutch sense, and this would be the Dutch sense method that would suggest that it would move in certain ways, and it is not. It doesn't show like it has moved. We've had a really, I think it was, I don't know where it was, I think in this area, a really deep one the other day. A really deep one, and you would expect to see maybe a few bigger ones in this area, and nothing has shown up. And nothing has really traveled anywhere except for some activity here that is larger and here, and that's a little bit unusual to see that larger activity, but we should be seeing like definitely above 5.0 activity, and we're not. So with all of that being said, I have Utah, Japan, California, possibly Alaska, possibly Russia, probably New Guinea, probably some activity flowing in the Indonesian, Malaysian, all of this area pretty much right here. And so I don't know that there's anything else that I can go over right now. I think that's pretty much everything that I have to say. I am just interested specifically in this California area, and I hope nothing happens. I hope that everybody is going to be fine. I hope that everybody does have a preparation plan just in case. Maybe a bag packed for with an extra outfit, pet supplies, pet food, leashes, something that you can grab and go out the door very quickly with, and have ready if you need to in case of relocation. Remember that during an earthquake, fires are also a common scenario. So just be prepared, and let's just be prepared for the worst but expect the best. Hope for the best, and how does that go? Hope for the best, and how does that go? Expect the worst but hope for the best. And that concludes my forecast for today. Today is the 18th. No, it's the 17th. I guess yesterday when I made the update that I did, it's also titled the 17th, but I made it, I think it probably at like 12 in the morning, so consider it's nighttime for me, so this is a more updated update. I'll probably title it differently. Anyways, I'm just rambling at this point, and I'll let you guys go. Thank you so much, and talk to you guys later. Bye.